Social media companies are like casinos. They don't care how much money or time you lose as long as they keep making money. And your screen time doesn't matter because it's not your screen time that you should be watching, but what you're doing with that screen time. Technology can actually be used for some pretty great things, but instead people just end up scrolling on their phones. But like I said, it's not their fault because the more attention these companies have, the more money they make. So they're going to do anything they can, including making their apps as addictive as possible to keep you there. There are two ways you can use your screen time. Like a zombie, with all notifications enabled, using your TikTok before bed, scrolling, and is not even conscious of when they pick up their phone. It just kind of happens. Or like Steve, who only picks up his phone when he actually needs to use it. He uses his phone to learn new things, and he actually has like a bunch of other habits that he enjoys doing as well. So he's an interesting fella. The main difference between Steve and Zombie is that Steve consciously chooses what he wants to do, and Zombie just is like a paper in the wind. He just blows this way and that way, you scroll on my phone, do this, do that. Now, imagine how different your life would be if you only used your phone when you actually needed to. No more watching stories on Instagram so you can feel connected, and no more scrolling on TikTok to fill that void. What do you think would happen? Do you think you would be happier? Well, this study shows that the more time you spend on social media, the more loneliness you will feel. It's weird, isn't it? I'm not telling you to throw away your phone or aim for 30 minutes a day screen time, only to be aware of how you are actually spending your time. If you usually spend up to 3 hours on social media per day, that could be 21 hours a week, which could have been spent doing anything else. I'm now 22 and I am trying to pick up a new language, a new instrument, trying to get a lot stronger than I currently am, and also trying to get better at chess. And it's not like I have all the time in the world, I'm also working 2 jobs. So there is time. I'm not amazing at any of these things yet, but the point is I'm trying to use technology to actually build myself up. And you can too. One thing I implemented this week is quiet time before dinner. So it's usually 30-40 minutes, and what I will do is just close my laptop, turn off my phone, put them away, and just have like a book and a journal on the table. And I'll just spend 40 minutes sitting there, just thinking, writing, reading, and just quiet time basically. Because I use technology so much during the day, I usually find that during the evening is when like most of my bad habits come, because my brain is just fried from being on my phone or on the computer or working the whole day, and then in the evening I end up just doing stupid stuff. So instead I can sit, learn about myself, make sure I'm going in the right direction, and just gather my thoughts together. And I know for a fact that that is something that we do not get enough of these days. You know that feeling, when it's February now and it's like it was just New Year's like a few days ago. Like, what happened? How is it already February? Well, I think this practice, the quiet time in the evening, is the way to avoid that, because when you're just on your phone all the time, you don't notice the time passing by. When you pick up your phone every spare second, how are you going to notice the days passing by? Your mind is constantly engaged in this thing. You're not even going to notice. All of a sudden, it's time to go to bed. Oh, I'm going to go to bed. I need to wake up for work, go home, go on the phone. The days are going to pass by. It's already February. So how can you actually use your screen time and stop being a zombie? Well, the first step is deciding that you want to do this firmly and understanding why you want to. So make sure you have that in your head. Then my favorite thing to do, and this is not a thing you do once, it's a thing you're doing constantly over time, but it's changing your digital environment. And that basically means the things you see when you open your phone. What's there? Like when you open your phone, do you see Instagram straight away? Do you see Snapchat? When you open Instagram, what kind of pages are you following? What kind of ideas is that putting into your head? When you open your email, what kind of emails are you getting? Are you subscribed to any, informational newsletters or anything interesting? Or is it just all junk? So follow pages on your Instagram or your Facebook or your TikTok or whatever you use that encourage and teach you about the habits you want to learn. Preferably people that you like, because that's a cool way to do things. When you open your phone, you're learning little tidbits about what you actually want to learn. And then also unfollow the accounts that are wasting your time or feeding you bad stuff. You should know what content is good for your brain and what content is bad for your brain, because it's important. Turn your notifications off. Stop letting them teach you that when you get a notification, time for happiness when I open my phone. They're rewiring your brain so that when they send you a notification, you open it. They have control over you. Turn off your notifications. Keep your calls on, because obviously if someone calls you, you need to know about that. But yeah, I have all my notifications off except for my calls. So I'm not just immediately opening my phone and getting lost in it anytime someone sends me a Snapchat message of their breakfast. Download apps that help you learn and then place them on your home screen, and then teach yourself to open them instead of opening the social media apps. So you know when you go on your phone and you're like, may as well check Instagram, rewire that thought so that instead you open these apps instead. Decide in advance what tasks you want to accomplish and what content you want to consume, and then stick to those goals. Basically, turn your phone into something that is going to help you and not bring you down. You know that saying that goes, you are what you eat? Well, just know that is also true for what you consume online.